Regarding the same story, we have seen that most victims of domestic violence are citing out some gaps in the law. For example, some say when they face the law, they are not helped. Others work and they end up giving up. However, what does the law state? Is there a law specifically for domestic related cases? And if it's there, what does it state? We are live with the police spokesperson, Rusoke Chituma. He's going to guide us on how to handle cases of domestic violence and to take us through some of the laws that come along with handling such cases. You're welcome, sir.
You see, domestic violence is a very sensitive issue within the policing environment. Now, domestic violence, I hope people understand it. This is in layman's understanding. This is violence within a household. I hope people know what a household is. A household, you will always find it has probably a father, it has a mother, it has children. Yes, they may have also other members, helpers, but within that setup. Now, there is a lot of violence in that closed house, you see. And there are usually two types. One is physical, the other is psychological. So usually a lot happens within that house, and it ends up at the doorsteps of police and the local authorities, LOCs. We have, as police, we are, like I've told you, it is a sensitive issue. That's why we have a whole department dedicated to it. And a number of activities. So as police, we begin one through the training. When we are training ourselves or we are training our personnel, we begin by inculcating. Actually, for us, we don't call it domestic violence. For us, we encompass it in a bigger picture, SGBV, sexual gender-based violence. And we make sure that when a police officer is being initiated, he is trained how to handle cases arising from that nature of violence. Okay. So that is equipping. They are unique. They are psychological. Then they are also physical. Then usually the strange thing about these offenses is that the perpetuator of the offense and the victim live in one house and sometimes live in one bed. So the likelihood, when you're handling such a case, there is a lot of sensitivity. You consider a number of factors. There are times when you find the person or the victim now becomes suddenly in support of the cause of the suspect. That's why we have even had encountered situations where you find you arrest the husband, but it doesn't take long before the wife
comes in.
Which wife was the cause of the arrest? It's a very intricate thing. Now, you know me, I don't want to say that it is a man or woman who perpetuates. Although statistics show that the biggest number of suspects in domestic violence are men.
Yes.
Without a doubt. They do so many things which psychologically torture their victims. Like, for example, it can be a man and he comes all the time threatening the wife one day I will kill you. One day you will be sleeping in that bed and I will just cut off your neck. Now, which person is going to go in a bed and rest when the person whom you are sharing with that bed has said that one day
I'll kill you.
he will take your neck? So that type of torture. Then in terms of physical violence, of course the one which people know most is the beating, physical beating, where you find people have been beaten. Now the biggest challenge is that you will see somebody harmed, but they don't want to come out and say. Because now, if for example a woman is working at in a company, she will most likely not reveal that those were marks of a biting from a man. Even men sometimes are harmed by women. You find they have swellings of beatings. Then the ugliest scenarios are those ones where you find there is a sexual violence against children. You find a man is sleeping with his children, daughters. Now, in such situations, these are very vulnerable persons. They do not know how to report. It is only by good luck when a child comes up and says, this and this happened to me, into the ears of somebody. Now, what causes all this? There are a number of reasons. We have, the first one is a stereotype. There is a, it has been there for ages that male superiority. The man is superior to a woman. The man cannot be answered. His word is final. So there is a general tendency of a man in a household being some kind of
a king,
brutal dictator of sorts. Now that one is one of the biggest challenges. Then of course we also have cultural stereotypes, where you find cultures promote domination. So tomorrow when they are beating somebody, you know culture played a part, because it subjugated a certain member of society and raised another one above others. You get it?
I know.
We like I said, police, we are always everywhere. We know of communities where you find a woman goes and works, brings back her money and what, she works in some market. Then wherever she puts the money, the man goes and picks it and goes and
that is stealing.
Drinks. No, he even does not steal, because he does not hide. He simply comes and he feels the legitimacy
to take the money.
Drug abuse is serious. When members of society start taking drugs, they lose their sense of judgment and temperament. So we have had the citizens who brutalize their families because they take drugs.
Okay, then we've had all the different forms of violence, domestic violence and their causes. Now, what does the law state? What does it say? If someone is experiencing such acts of violence, what does the law say?
The law is
there.
2, there is a procedure. The first procedure is the victim must volunteer himself to the nearest police. Recently, as police, we have come out with hotlines which we shared.
Domestic violence is real and it is happening at a higher rate. This takes a collective responsibility, but it begins from you, within you. Who is violating all this? Remember, we are humans. We have another life to live. Stop violence. Stop domestic violence.